Yesterday I was talking about
Yesterday, shut up.
avoiding your higher calling, and there were a few more points that I wanted to make about that situation. So I was talking about how in some previous posts I've been saying that I feel that people do not like me, and also that I do not like people. And I've recently come to an awareness that that positioning is not quite accurate. One of the reasons why you're probably feeling like this, people do not like me, or you do not like other people, because you may be being concerned about the wrong things, about how you're being perceived. How you're being perceived by others is none of your business. You should need to get busy with, stepping into your calling. You're probably too concerned with things like, how are people receiving me? Oh, you may be a bit of a people pleaser, okay? And this new calling is urging you to stop being so concerned and so outwardly focused of how these people think about me. What are they thinking about me? You may be worried about, how you look. Oh, am I pretty enough? Do these people think I'm pretty? Do they think I'm ugly? You may be too concerned with coming across as being likable, or being nice, but this new calling is urging you to be less concerned with these things and be more concerned with stepping into your authentic truth. Okay? You're maybe more deeper and a lot more intellectual than what you're letting on. As I said, you're probably working a sort of like care worker standard where you should be the person running the whole medical department. So this is what I'm saying. You need to step into this newfound position, and find those new possibilities and become that. And I've come to realize that if you resonate with this feeling of people not liking you, or you feeling like you do not like people, it's probably more so a case of the fact that you are in an environment where you're supposed to be a leader in that community. You're supposed to be in a leadership role, but for whatever reason, you're not in that current leadership role in the community at the moment. And what I was saying was that you've possibly previously been in some form of leadership role, or role where you're a kind of helper and healer of other people. For example, you've maybe worked as a teacher or a manager, or you've possibly been a care worker or nurse, or you've maybe even been a mother, having taken that time to look after and grow up others, other beings, other human beings. And it's a situation where currently, maybe for a long period, you've come out of that profession, maybe due to illness or transitioning, moving location, life just happening and getting in the way. You've had a period of not much happening, really, a lull phase, a lot of downtime. And this downtime is what's actually giving you this feeling of, I don't actually like these people that are around me, or feeling as though you yourself are not being accepted by the people that you're around. And I've come to this awareness, which is what I'm letting you know in this video. Reshift your mindset, okay? It's not that you do not like people. It's not that people do not like you. It's life, okay? It's God, it's the universe is urging you to a new calling, and it's possibly a higher calling. And what I mean by this is, during this downtime that you're having, you're probably spending a lot of time in environments that you usually maybe wouldn't be in. So, for example, just as a pure example, you're probably in the pub a lot, for example, around a lot of drinkers. You're probably not a smoker, and you're finding yourself to be around a lot of people who, that's their fun time, that's their leisure time. They enjoy a lot of smoking and drinking, and that's just their way of socializing. But you're probably not a smoker or a drinker. That's just one example, or you're probably finding yourself spending a lot of time at home watching the TV, where you're not really a sit down watching TV person. You're more of a out there, go get a doing it kind of person. But right now, you're just not in that phase. You're probably sitting down at home watching the TV, or scrolling through mindless TikTok, just keep scrolling. So what it is, the reason why you're having these feelings that are coming up of feeling like you just don't like your environment, you don't like people, is because you're actually avoiding a deeper inner calling within yourself. There's a higher calling, okay? The universe is urging you into a new path, but for some reason, you're avoiding that new path. And so this video is urging you to, if this is showing up on your For You page, it's urging you to stop avoiding this new challenge, okay? It may be a challenging time for you, but you have to step into the unknown. You have to step into the challenge in order to grow and in order to move on to the next stage, the next level. And just as pure examples, to give you to understand what I'm talking about. As an example, you probably have been working for many years as a care worker, or a nurse, where your actual qualifications and the experience that you have, the knowledge that you have, you're probably actually at doctor's level. So you're probably in an environment where you're not actually working to the standard and the level that you have the knowledge, you have the capability and the expertise and the qualifications for. And this is why you're feeling as though you're in an environment where I don't like these people. These people do not like me. It's probably not that at all. It's probably not that these people don't like you or that you don't like these people. It's just that you're working as a care worker in a care working environment where your inner calling is urging you to be working at the doctor's level, MD, or another example could be, you probably feel as if you're around a lot of toxic people and you're thinking, why are all these people around me so ill? Why are a lot of people addicted to substances? They can't go one day without so many cigarettes or so many cans of beer, and you're feeling as though these people think that you're better than them when you're not thinking, oh, I'm better than these people. It's just you find different other ways to occupy your leisurely time, to how these people occupy their leisurely time, and you're not judging them. It's just you're like a different kettle of fish. This is what I'm saying. You're more of that kind of leadership role. And for example, you're probably finding yourself to be around a lot of these kind of people because, as I said, you've previously been in a situation where you're there to heal, you're there to help, but for some reason you're resisting your inner calling. Maybe in a previous situation you were working as like a primary school teacher, whereas now you're finding yourself surrounded by these toxic adult beings who can't get it together because life is urging you to now become a life, health and fitness well-being guru, life coach, but you're resisting that calling. So this is a video to urge you to let you know, stop resisting the calling, okay? You may be feeling on new ground, on new territory, kind of, it may be making you be feeling like kind of like a little bit vulnerable, or you know what, there's something else I need to learn here, there's something else I need to grasp here. So don't be afraid to open up and seek out those people, kind of like mentors or guides who can help you along this new journey, okay? And don't be scared. Don't be feeling like afraid of the fact that you may be feeling, vulnerable, kind of, oh, I'm not quite sure here what I'm doing. You may not feel quite steady on your feet. But the reason why you're feeling like that is because you're going through this time of transition. As I said, the calling is urging you to aim higher, and step into it. Step into the new calling. That's all I have to say for this video. Thank you very much for watching.